The construction industry says it needs nearly 500,000 additional workers in 2026 just to keep up with demand. That's not a talking point, that's basic math. So here's the real question. If there's that much work available, why can't the industry find enough people to do it? And what does that say about how we plan our workforce in this country? Don't forget to like, comment, follow, whatever else is required. Remember, sharing this video helps make sure these issues don't get lost in the noise of everyday life. It's Labor Lines, let's get into it. Quit it, kidding. Before we get into retirements, immigration, or union recruitment, we need to start with the big picture. Construction isn't just busy, it's being reshaped. According to Fortune, the industry is being driven by federal infrastructure spending, manufacturing, reshoring, and semiconductor facilities, as well as energy projects and the AI data center boom. Billions of dollars are being poured into physical infrastructure across the country. And that's to say nothing of the residential market. That demand is real. At the same time, the Associated Builders and Contractors estimate the industry needs close to 500,000 additional workers in 2026 just to keep labor supply balanced. So the issue isn't that construction slowed down, the issue is that demand is colliding with structural weakness. Let's talk about that weakness first. The retirement wave. A large portion of the skilled trades workforce is nearing retirement age. According to reporting in For Construction Pros, the industry has been shrinking in key skilled trade categories for years. And experienced workers are aging out faster than they're being replaced. When a journeyman electrician or pipe fitter retires, that's not just one worker leaving, that's decades of experience walking off the job site. And in the trades, experience isn't optional, it's the system. Older workers mentor younger ones, knowledge gets passed down, skill gets refined over time. When that chain breaks, the entire pipeline weakens. Second, the apprenticeship pipeline gap. For years, high schools pushed 4-year college degrees while shop classes disappeared. During the downturn after 2008, fewer young workers entered the trades. Training capacity didn't expand fast enough to match the retirement wave that was already coming. And we dismantled vocational education in a lot of places. Megan O'Connor writes about this in her piece on what happened to vocational schools in her Substack. Over time, technical education was deprioritized, underfunded, or treated as a second-tier option compared to traditional college pathways. We told an entire generation that success meant a 4-year college degree. So fewer kids learned a skilled trade. That wasn't a crisis overnight, it was a slow build. But now the bills do. Third, we need an honest conversation about what the trades actually are. In a Medium article by Tracy Antonelli, the argument is simple. If more people are going to enter the trades need to work for more people. Construction is physical, it's early mornings, it can involve travel, it can be unstable between projects. It can be hard on the body. It is hard on the body. But here's something else we don't talk about enough. In non-union construction, when you move from contractor to contractor, your benefits often don't follow you. Health insurance resets, retirement accounts don't transfer cleanly if they transfer at all, and they really never do. Stability disappears between jobs. In union construction, you can move from contractor to contractor and keep your benefits, your pension contributions, your training record. The structure moves with you. That stability matters, especially to younger workers deciding whether this is a career or just a job. We can't pretend construction is office work, but we also can't ignore that office work isn't what it used to be either. Automation and artificial intelligence are reshaping white-collar jobs just as robotics and prefabrication are reshaping construction. So maybe this is where change has to happen. What would it look like to modernize the job site? Better scheduling predictability, cleaner advancement paths, structured mentorship, safer and more inclusive job site culture. FieldWire recently highlighted how Gen Z construction workers are looking for purpose, structure, and transparency. If we want them, we can't just tell them to toughen up. We have to build a system that makes sense for them. And this has been the hardest part for the older generations. The idea that if I had it hard, you've got to have it hard too. This mentality is outdated and not helping bring new people into the trade. Now let's talk about labor supply. Construction has historically relied on immigrant labor, especially in residential construction and certain specialty trades. NPR has reported on how immigration flows impact labor markets in sectors like agriculture, hospitality, and construction. When immigration slows or deportations increase without replacement pathways, labor supply tightens. In a market that's already short of workers, reducing supply pushes cost upward. That means higher bids, longer timelines, more expensive residential construction and remodels. And those higher costs don't hit evenly. Wealthy homeowners absorb price increases differently than working families trying to remodel a kitchen, fix a roof, or buy their first home. When labor gets tight, the working class feels it first, always. And that's not ideology. That's supply and demand. And demand always hits the working class harder than anyone else. Now let's talk about diversity in recruitment. According to North American building trades unions, workforce development programs aimed at expanding participation among women and underrepresented communities have increased diversity in construction. And if the industry needs 500,000 workers, shrinking the recruitment pool makes the shortage worse. Whether someone supports or opposes certain diversity policies politically, the labor math doesn't change. Widen the pipeline and supply increases, narrow it, and the shortage deepens. But this isn't about supporting DEI ideas. It's about keeping an industry the same. And that's the mentality we have to move from if we want to continue to build this country. And as much as we want to blame DEI for everything, we don't have to broaden our horizons and start reaching out in more unconventional ways to ensure difference isn't looked at as a problem, but something we invite into the trades. This again is where unions are ahead of the curve in leaps and bounds. DEI may not be a requirement anymore, but it can be a state of mind if you'll let it. Now here's where things get interesting for unions. According to Benefit News, union construction firms are often better positioned during labor shortages. Why, you may ask? Because unions maintain structured apprenticeship systems, they coordinate workforce planning across contractors, they can shift workers between projects, they provide clearer wage scales and portable benefits in a tight labor market. Predictability is power. A non-union contractor might struggle to find 10 laborers next month. A union contractor can pull from a hall with a pipeline already in motion, and that's, again, not ideology. That's just structure. So what does all this mean? This isn't just a growth problem. It's a workforce planning problem. The industry didn't build a sustainable pipeline over the last 20 years. Now demand's surging. Retirements are accelerating. Immigration policy is tightening. And recruitment culture has to modernize all at once. Contractors face rising wages and longer hiring timelines. Home buyers face higher costs, infrastructure projects face delays, and workers have leverage they haven't had in years. So how do we fix it? Expand apprenticeship capacity, reinvest in high school trade education. The New York Times has reported on renewed interest in vocational and technical pathways as alternatives to traditional college. That momentum needs to accelerate. Stabilize immigration pathways to match labor demand, modernize job site culture, and treat workforce development like infrastructure, not an afterthought. Because here's the truth. If the industry truly needs 500,000 new workers, workers aren't the problem. Planning is. And if unions move more aggressively right now, this is a moment to grow membership, expand training, and position themselves as the most stable pathways into a volatile industry. Unions should be reaching students before high school. Middle school exposure matters. Kids need to understand what the trades are, what unions do, and how collective bargaining builds stability long before they're told their only path forward is college debt. Take a page out of the Rights Handbook and indoctrinate early and help young people see the advantage of the trades instead of the debt of college, or outright hating them because they're told to. This isn't about panic either. It's about preparation. Construction doesn't just build buildings. It builds physical backbone of the economy. If we don't build the workforce behind it, everything slows down. Housing gets more expensive. Projects get delayed. Working families always pay the price. So the real question isn't whether we have enough jobs. The question is whether we've built a system capable of filling them. If you're seeing this labor crunch where you live, or if you're in the trades and feeling the pressure firsthand, your perspective matters. Make sure and drop any thoughts or ideas in the comments. And if you or someone you know are interested in learning more about the trades, do a little Google research and find a union hall close to you. I've never met a union member or local official that wasn't willing to talk to you about what they have to offer. We learn best through shared experience. This has been Labor Lines with Alex. Be safe, be productive, be well.